المسلمين والمسلمات والمؤمنين والمؤمنات والقانتين والقانتات والصادقين والصادقات والصابرين والصابرات والخاشعين والخاشعات والمتصدقين والمتصدقات والصائمين والصائمات والحافظين فروجهم والحافظات والذاكرين الله كثيرا والذاكرات أعد الله لهم أجرا عظيما.
Now Allah Azza wa Jal started with Inna al-Muslimin, the basic character. Then he came to end with the highest character, was Dhakirin. But then all the other one, he was just mentioning them, Inna al-Muslimina wal-Muslimat, wal-Mu'minina wal-Mu'minat, wal-Qanitina wal-Qanitat, addressing both the male and female personality types in life. But when he got to Dhikrullah, then he said what?
وَالذَّاكِرِينَ اللَّهَ كَثِيرًا.
That and those who remember Allah plenty times. As a Muslim in your life, when you train yourself, Allah says there is nothing وَإِن مِّن شَيْءٍ إِلَّا
شيء إلا يسبح بحمده ولكن لا تفقهون تسبيحهم.
It's okay for me. Everything that you see over here, everything, the walls, matter and for that matter, living or not living, organic or inorganic, whatever you see on earth, Allah says that they praise Allah Azza wa Jal. They know their creator. It is only us that we get into the university and we don't know who created us. And we don't accept. Meanwhile, we are not the originators of all the substance and all the things that we have at our disposal. We are only assembling. We bring them together. Even in the laboratory, we synthesize, but we don't create. Can you create any element? You only discover the element, but you don't create that particular element. And for that matter, you can't create that particular compound. You only synthesize, bring them together. So Allah says that وَإِن مِّن شَيْءٍ, there is nothing at all on earth here that they don't remember Allah Azza wa Jal, to praise Allah Azza wa Jal, to glorify Allah Azza wa Jal. وَلَكِنْ لَا تَفْقَهُونَ تَسْبِيحَهُمْ. But you don't understand. So we have to live to the level that we also increase our dhikrullah to the level that we begin to understand the adhkar of the matter around us. The adhkars of your hand, that of your eyes, your ears, your legs, every part of your body and your environment, whatever dhikrullah should be there, should synchronize with that of your what? Your heart. So Allah is telling us all these qualities that he mentioned. He said one of them, there is no limit to that one. وَالذَّاكِرِينَ اللَّهَ كَثِيرًا
وَالذَّاكِرِينَ اللَّهَ كَثِيرًا وَالذَّاكِرَاتِ أَعَدَّ اللَّهُ لَهُم مَّغْفِرَةً وَأَجْرًا عَظِيمًا.
And when he was going to talk about the reward, he ended it after this particular pinnacle, the topmost what? Personality. Remembrance of Allah, my dear brothers. To do dhikr, what is actually the benefit of it to you? You come and sit down and you do dhikr. First of all, how do we have to do dhikr? You need to have a mentor. You need to have a model. You don't just get up and do dhikr. Allah Azza wa Jal tells us that لَقَدْ كَانَ
لَكُمْ فِي رَسُولِ اللَّهِ أُسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ لِمَنْ كَانَ يَرْجُو اللَّهَ وَالْيَوْمَ الْآخِرَ وَذَكَرَ اللَّهَ كَثِيرًا.
Sadaqallahu al-Azim. Allah Azza wa Jal says that indeed for you there is a perfect model for you. Those people who really have made Allah Azza wa Jal at the topmost of your vision. Whatever you do, you link it to Allah Azza wa Jal. It is the rida Allah. the pleasure of Allah that you are looking for, and then you are also planning for what the hereafter. And Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam is a model for you, for those who do dhikr plenty times. Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam is a model for you. Alladhina yazkuruna Allah qiyaman.
الذين يذكرون الله قياما وقعودا وعلى جنوبهم ويتفكرون في خلق السماوات والأرض ربنا ما خلقت هذا باطلا سبحانك فقنا عذاب النار.
الذين يذكرون الله. You see Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the companions that he trained, يذكرون الله قياما, when they are standing and when they are seated and when they are also reclined to any of their sides while they are walking, whatever they are doing. الذين يذكرون الله قياما وقعودا وعلى جنوبهم ويتفكرون. It's not only and only remembrance of Allah. They remember Allah and they go deep into thinking and reflection in the Creator, using the creation itself. They look at the creation of Allah Azza wa Jal, then they remember the Creator himself and wonders how Allah Azza wa Jal did that one so as to extract some benefit, to be able to rearrange and then to be able to know how to use the creation of Allah Azza wa Jal. وَيَتَفَكَّرُونَ فِي خَلْقِ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. And that is what you are doing. The school and the university is going to train you as to how to think into details and as to how to reflect in order to understand matter, in order to understand creation. But Islam is telling you that the model of our contemplation, reflection, is that you don't limit your thinking and reflection and then logical analysis only on the creation. Extend it to what? The Creator as well. Acknowledge what? The creation, and acknowledge what? The Creator. So all of us will have to do dhikr. And Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we understand that لَقَدْ كَانَ لَكُمْ فِي رَسُولِ اللَّهِ أُسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ. We understand that the model of Dhikrullah is in Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and we understand that his format of model of zikr is that wherever he is, he doesn't need only a mosque to do what? Dhikrullah. He doesn't need a tasbih to do what? Dhikrullah. Wherever he finds himself, his heart is always pumping La ilaha illallah, La ilaha illallah, La ilaha illallah, La ilaha. To the extent that the companions, when they hold the sword and they are on the battlefield, La ilaha illallah, La ilaha, to the last word, Allah, 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 then they are running on the back. Whatever you are doing, La ilaha illallah. Those specific times earmarked for us to remember Allah Azza wa Jal, they have only been earmarked to stimulate and ignite the dhikrullah within us. But after it has ignited, just like what? The machine, you struggle to spark it. After sparking it, it should continue and work. It shouldn't stop. So after sparking your heart to start with what? The dhikrullah in salah, it should continue in whatever you are doing. So the model of dhikrullah in Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam is that there is no deed and no act that Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam has no dua for it. Seek to learn those ones as students. We have a small book, Husnul Muslim. Get it. When you get up in the morning, what are you going to recite? You are entering into washroom, what are you going to recite? When you are coming out of the washroom, what are you going to recite? You are going to perform ablution, what are you going to recite? After performing ablution, what are you going to recite? Walking to the mosque, what are you going to recite? Entering into the mosque, what are you going to recite? Coming out of the mosque, what are you going to recite? Drinking water, what are you going to recite? To eat, what are you going to recite? After eating, what are you going to recite? Opening your book, what are you going to recite? During your learning, what are you going to recite? After learning, what are you going? The life of a Muslim, each stage and each deed, transferring yourself from one act to another act, is being governed by dua. Uswatun hasana, the model of dhikr of our Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Our problem is that we have thrown behavioral dhikr. We only have verbal what? Dhikr is the least form of dhikr, and that is what we are now struggling to become arrogant on, that we are doing dhikr. Verbal dhikr with your tongue, intellectual dhikr, you bring your mind, emotional emotional dhikr, you add what? Your heart, and all these things, you blend them together to produce behavioral dhikr, so that when you are outside there, your behavior should be dictated and guided by those azkars that you want. You keep on doing. It should come spontaneously within your heart. You turn left, la ilaha illallah, turn right, la ilaha illallah, you sit down, la ilaha illallah, you get up, la ilaha illallah. Whoever talks to you, once somebody is talking to you, you hear sound, you see somebody, la ilaha illallah. Whatever you see should remind you of la ilaha illallah. For Allah's sake, how can you go and touch a girl with what? Bismillah and la ilaha illallah. How do you commit fornication with what? La ilaha illallah. You can't do that. So if dhikrullah is part of what? Whatever you do, it tends to regulate your mood and appetite and state for the deed that you are going to embark on, and make it positive and enhancing and productive for only good deeds, but not bad deeds, my brother. Let us make dhikrullah an integral aspect of what? Our life. What are the types of dhikrullah?